When we begin to raise our awareness, we start to see more of the world within us. And we start to dissolve this illusion that we are separate from oneness. A spiritual awakening is a healing of old wounds, isn't it? And dissolving false beliefs and illusions so that we can step into who we truly are and start expressing from a place of authenticity and truth. My spiritual awakening really accelerated when I was going through an infertility challenge. I had basically all of my self-worth tied up in this attachment of being a mom and having a baby. And when I went through that beautiful experience, as difficult it was at the time, it really helped me to look within and to really ask those questions. You know, what do I really want? Why am I really here? And how can I serve and contribute in, ways that bring me so much joy? Maybe you have a similar story. Think about what has happened in your life that really potentially some sort of challenge that created an incredible awareness in you seeing life completely in a different way. I once heard a really beautiful analogy of what's happening in the world with all of us, with our emotions coming up to the surface right now, especially those of us on a spiritual journey, a spiritual awakening. And it's a beautiful analogy from a magazine called Sedona Emergence. Beautiful magazine printed out of Sedona, Arizona, and beautiful channelers in there. I highly recommend you check it out. I'll have the link below in the post. And the analogy was this. Imagine you're making a stew on the pot, on the stove, and you have this really big pot. And whether it's a meat stew or a vegan stew, vegetable stew, you have now served most of the stew, but there might have been a little bit left that you forgot at the bottom of the pot, and you left the stove on. So what's happened is the stew has now burnt. It's charred, right? It's completely black. And so you look at this pot, the sides of the stew, whatever was left on the sides is all black. The bottom, whatever was left of your meat or your vegan stew, the vegetables, is all charred and black. How can you clean that pot? What is the fastest way to clean that pot? And the fastest way is to fill the pot with water all the way to the top and turn the stove back on, right? So it can boil, the water can boil, and so that all of that burnt stuff can come up to the surface. And when it comes up to the surface and we look down at the pot, all we see is burnt, crisp, charred ugliness. And we feel like the entire pot is filled with this, when in fact it's just the surface. And if we take a little spoon and just, literally spoon and sift it away, throw away the black, charred, burnt stuff, what's below is clear water, clean water. And that's what's happening with us. That's such a beautiful analogy I like to think of for cacao. Cacao brings up in us these emotions, these things that we haven't completely healed from, situations in our life or people or things, and it literally brings it up for us, boils it up for us, these emotions, and then all of a sudden it's there. Whether we like it or not, there's no more suppressing it, there's no more holding it back, something's in front of us. That trigger or that emotion is in front of us, and we can look at it, and we can look at how it served us to now, but we can literally take a little spoon and just move it away. And below that, in your body, is this beautiful white, bright light and love within you. It's just all of it's coming up so that we can finally release it all. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this really short video with this little analogy, this little story of what's happening in the world today. Why do we feel like so much is coming up for us, especially when we're on this spiritual journey? It's like one challenge after another. Why is this happening? And how is this happening for us and for our evolution? Because that's exactly what's happening right now. And how does cacao help us in that journey, accelerate that journey of bringing up these emotions and releasing them so that we can step into our beautiful, true, authentic self? If you enjoyed this video, I would love for you to like it, subscribe to this channel. Every week we publish new videos about consciousness, about cacao, and also please make sure to download the free recipe for ceremonial cacao, and also join us on one of our online ceremonies. Would love to have you join us. Make a comment below about it, and in the post below I'll have a little link with all of our upcoming events and ceremonies so that you can see if it resonates. Thank you so much for being here again. I love you all. Mwah. Namaste. Ciao.